Alright, I don't, oh, I moved my camera, hang on. Is that better? Let's go up a little more. Alright, I don't know how well you can see this. Here, hopefully you can see the bag and everything. What I have here is I got my canvas bag, and I got a concrete test cylinder. This is when they pour a foundation, they pour some of the concrete in here, and they try to break it to make sure the foundation is strong enough to handle the weight of the building. Teresa got these for me and some other martial artists from her Kempo school that she knows. I got this little thing here. So what I'm going to show you is a few things I picked up from my Shaolin teacher, and also this is from Cobra Kai. So my hitting method, first we put the jowl on. Alright, I got, this is from Dean. I don't know if you know Dean. He's the Green Dragon Society guy. He's got a thing up in Rockford, so you basically rub it all in real good. You know, get it all massaged in there. You can smell the frankincense. He uses a lot of frankincense in this jowl, and I like that. And when you do the fingers, alright, you do the fingers like this and you pull. Okay, you have to pull the fingers as you rub it in. It's important because that helps open up the chi flow here. Stretches out the joints, opens up the knuckles and all that. So you pull the fingers. All right, and the pulling the fingers I feel is more important when you're done than in the beginning. So you pretty much rub it in, and there's a slight sticky feeling once it's all in really good because of the frankincense is a resinous like herb. Okay, good stuff for iron hand and various injuries. So I don't know if you can see that. That's Dean's from Oriental Herb. He's a original Green Dragon Society guy. This is a Green Dragon Society formula. It's one of the best iron formulas I've used outside of the stuff I make myself, which I don't have at the moment. Alright, so once you got that, there's all kinds of warm-up exercises you can do. My Shaolin teacher used to have us warm up by doing some staff exercises to get the circulation flowing and get everything, all the juices moving and all that through your hands. I'm not going to do that here because I'm just demonstrating. But pardon my boxes. These are going to be to organize my garage, so I'm storing boxes because I got all kinds of things I got to separate out there. So again, pardon my mess. But it's really simple. I mean, first thing you do is you put your hand upside down like this. You come up and boom, and you hit it. It's not that big of a deal. Boom. You do 180 of these, and you do 180 of these, right? Then you turn over, and you do 108 of those, 108 of those, 108 of these, 108 of these, and by this point your bag is kind of starting to get a little deformed. So when you do the fingers, instead of doing the fingers right in the middle, I do them in the corners because that forces all the beans to go back towards the center. So you got boom, and then boom. And I always alternate the fingers because I've never just kind of go back and forth like that. This is really good. You can really, when you get it just right, it feels really good. And then there's the fist, the upside down fist. And I do the upside down fist in each of the corners. I don't, because it drives the beans back towards the center, right? And then once everything is back and centered, then I go back and you can do that again, or you're done for the day. I mean, it depends on how you do it, right? And the cylinder, this is Cobra Kai stuff. All right, I'm assuming this is Japanese oriented stuff because it doesn't have a movable median. You know, your mung beans or I have a bag somewhere here that's got gravel in it. I don't know where it is. But your mung beans are a movable medium, and what the movable medium does is it takes the pressure off the direct points of your knuckles so that it goes in between the knuckles, and every inch of your bones takes the pressure evenly, which the Japanese don't do that. They don't have this, and that's the reason why you have arthritic issues with some of their iron hand practices. I don't think they have jows either. I mean, they might now because of the modern day, but so for this, the Cobra Kai thing, and Cobra Kai does this too, but they They don't do the exact pattern that I do. I think they just do this one and this one. But for this, you're not just training you're not training the whole side. Like when you do this, you're getting this whole thing, right? Over here is just this little bone. So you go boom, 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 right? So that gets this, and then you hold this, and this takes this shot. Okay, that's what does this. Now I have in the past, when I've had a bag, I know you can get them from martialartsmart.com that has, it's like a longer, skinnier bag. It's very similar to the one that you used in your video, and I would duct tape it around this, right? So I had a movable medium here, and I would just do it like this. All right, so that prevents the whole bad position that you have when you're doing that. So just put it on your post. You can use a piece of tree, right? At Cobra Kai, they had a log. It was a wooden log. It wasn't a concrete berry. But Teresa, went through the effort of having her construction buddy make these for us. So it's kind of sentimental, and I still use it because of that. And then to do the other side, you just move your organizational boxes for your garage out of the way, and you just do this, and you just let it swing. Okay, so that's the basic strikes. Now, here is the magic part that I tried to explain it to Myung years ago when I was going to his basement and doing Shuai Jiao, and you were still in California back then, and he wasn't getting it, or he was blatantly dismissing me because it was me saying it. Like if some respected master, or even my teacher that had taught me this, had said it, he probably would have respected it. But it's me, and we all know that no matter how right I am about everything, I have severe credibility problems, and if it comes out of my mouth, it's automatically wrong. So, but this is the key, all right? How hard you hit the bag is very critical, because you don't want to hit it too hard, because if you hit it too hard, then the energy bounces back into your arm, right? Just like you were saying on your video. If you hit it too soft, you're not using enough power to advance the hardness and density of your bone. So what I do, and this is what I was taught, is when I hit, right, so that feels pretty hard, right? What I'm looking for, I'll start light, right? Then hit a little harder, add a little mechanics to it, right? All of those were good, no matter how hard I hit them, because when I hit it, my mechanics are good, and I feel an energy drop into the bag, right? So you have to have that into the bag. You have to have that energy drop into the bag. And what will happen is you'll get to a point where you start increasing the strength of your hit to the point where you can really feel that energy drop. But if you start trying to hit harder than that, the energy drop gets more and more and more shallow, and eventually you're hitting it super, super hard, and it starts bouncing back into you, okay? So what you can do is you can go to the point where you start feeling it bouncing back into you, and then you back off your hitting pressure like this much. And then you'll get a good sink, right? And then you back it off a little more, and then you get a really good sink. And eventually you get to a point where it feels like the energy is just sinking as deep as you possibly can. If you keep backing the pressure off, then you feel it not sinking as deep. So you want to kind of go back and forth with your hitting pressure until you feel that energy sink really deep into, like as far deep as you can get it. And when you get to that sweet spot, that tells you how hard you should be hitting the bag. So you should, boom, see right there, boom, boom, boom. See, I can hit really hard because I've been doing this shit for years. Boom. And that one was a little bad. Okay, so I fucked up on that one. Let me straighten my bag. All right, and that, I know you can't feel what I just felt. All right, maybe you could hear it, though. You might be able to hear the difference. But on that last one, I had a little bit of a reverb, a little bit of bounce back. So I know that was too hard to hit. So I want to take that point and back off just a little bit. There we go, right there. Boom. And then, of course, I do these little monkey pats to reset the bag. And, of course, you could do it with all of them, too. You could do it with the backhand. And reset set the bag. You know, and then of course you got to do the other side. Now that last one right there, that last one was too hard because I felt it bounce back just a little bit. So to make it right, you want to back off just a little bit so that energy sinks. A little not hard enough. There we go. Ah, ha, ha, yeah, that's it. Right there. That's a good one right there. That's another good one. So basically, and then you do this with all of them. You know, you do this with this hit. That was a bad one. There we go. There you go. Square my bag up a little bit here. See, and all those are really good shots. And of course, the fingers, I've never really been good with the fingers. So I go really soft with the finger. I don't hit too hard with the fingers. I've never been able to really build them up. This is stronger than this. This side has the injury, so I'm more careful with it. But just like the other hits, when you get this right, you should be feeling the energy drop from your fingertips into the bag. If it bounces back, it's too hard, so you got to back the pressure off and go lighter. And then, of course, you got your Buddha pounds of mortar hits. And if you want, you can do these too. Just drop the hammer. Straighten it all out. So, alright, so now we got the hits down. In between each type of hit, there is an exercise, right? So how you're doing the whipping exercise, right? We have something like that too. And what it is a sport specific. It's more sport specific than what you're doing. And what I want to do is show you that, because that's the difference between the system I was taught and what you're showing. The sport specific one that I was taught was after you do a hit on the bag, you do your 100 hits, then you need to do 100 in the air, loose. So it'll be like this, right? It'll be shoom, 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 shoom. And then the backhand, shoom. I'll try it over here in case the camera can't see it. Shoom, shoom, shoom. All right, the knife edge, shoom, 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 shoom. And again, when you're doing it in the air, you want to feel that energy shooting out as if it would go into the bag if you were hitting a bag. Fingers. I would do the fingers last. Plus you can do all those other ones. So that's the real big difference between what the system you just showed and the version I was taught. And of course, we have a qigong that we do when we're done. And then our I don't have the beans set up here, so I can't show you that. But the beans are very simple. It's almost exactly like what you do. When you put your hands in the beans and you do the raking, it rakes in a circle all the way around the edge of the bucket forwards, and then it does it backwards again. So the pressure goes against the backhand and the front hand. And it makes a circle, and then in the middle, the next pass, it makes an S pattern through the medium. And it forms a yin-yang symbol in your bucket of beans. That's really the only difference between the bean side of it. The Qigong is like this. It's Shishujing, essentially. So you breathe in. And then it starts all over again. So that's the Qigong for it. And then when it's all said and done, there's one last exercise right before the Qigong. And this is the, it's not Taizu, because remember, I learned from my Shaolin teacher before I discovered Taizu. I mean, there's a 32 posture Taizu Changchuan form in his system, but I didn't know it was a whole style at that point. I was just learning the original Shaolin. All right, so he has the closing exercise is an 8 direction hit in the air. Okay, it kind of looks like you're just sort of flopping your wrist around, but you're not. There's more to it. There's significance. And I'm standing on an angle here. It's really hard for me to do it, so I'm gonna try to approximate this. So what you do is it's a palm strike in the air this way. There's this, hits this way. And then it comes up, down, hits the bottom one, then it hits the top one, then it comes like this and it hits on an angle this way, and an angle this way. And then it comes down and hits on an angle this way, and an angle this way. So you get all 8 cardinal directions, only instead of being horizontal like you would do it as a footwork pattern, it becomes vertical. So you got north and south, east and west, northeast, southeast, southwest, northwest, and you just want to kind of in the air and just work this little nice and loose. You know, just kind of play it a little bit, move the angles around, and do that, and that loosens everything back up. You know, because you just beat the tar out of your hands and it needs a little energy flow, right? So you do that with both your hands. 25, 50 reps or wherever it is, feel loose again. And of course, last, you get your iron palm jowl, which I really got to make some because the stuff that I have for my Taizu is vastly superior to this. If none other reason that it has the internal component. The internal component from the Taizu is very, very important for that iron hand training because it is basically, it's the iron hand formula with all of the poisonous herbs removed, and you drink that about an hour before you train. And it has all the bone hardening herbs and circulatory herbs in it, so you have iron hand support from the inside, and then you put the jowl on the outside. And you got to remember, see, here's the finger pulling again. You got to do the finger pulling. The finger pulling is most essential after the training because you want to open up all those channels so the chi is really flowing through it nice. And there's I tend to bend them backwards just a little bit to help, you know, with the flexibility of my fingers, which is real good because I have an industrial career and it'll help prevent arthritis from repetitive use and all that. And that's pretty much it. I hope you can hear what I'm saying because I'm just using the microphone from the camera so I don't have to go through all the video editing and everything. But again, it's very similar to what you showed, except for this karate-looking kind of stuff that I got from Cobra Kai. And, you know, the exercises in between are what was the real difference in the yin-yang symbol thing in the beads, right? But anyway, I hope you can take something away from this because you've given so much to me, and on the rare occasions that I have something I feel I can give back, I get all excited. All right, thank you, sir, very much.